We should be live.
Let's see.
Hi, Tavia.
Hi, Tom. Yes, we are live.
All right. Well, this is just a really brief, normally, first of all, this is Connections with Tavia and the McClish. And that brick wall that's behind me does seem to be kind of breaking up because it's trying to cover up a very messy desk and office. So it's much better to have a breaking up brick wall, I think, ultimately for viewers. So anyway, but we normally air on Sundays. And today we have a very brief kind of discussion, just a brief dedication to someone who was kind of under the surface responsible in part for this podcast beginning. And we hope to go forward for about 20, maybe 30 years. I'll just be coming in my prime at that time, so that should be good. But it's actually a dedication. We want to take a few minutes to do a dedication to Tavia's brother, Aaron, who passed away back on this day in 2009.
Well, actually, today's his birthday.
I'm sorry.
It's
Today's
okay.
his birthday. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So one of those bricks should be falling on my head momentarily because, right.
And do you know that I have to just mention this right now, Tom, and then you can continue. Aaron has, I like to say presently, a wonderful sense of humor. He's probably totally laughing about
I'm
that.
sure he is.
Like, he has a really, really good sense of humor. So he would not be like, oh my gosh, you just got it wrong. Because I'm laughing. He would be laughing.
And his birthday is December 8th, 1977, actually. So, yeah. So I do stand correct. Am I right? On his birthday?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. Well, hey, if nothing else, people can get a laugh, right? So,
yeah, well, I'm laughing. Thank you.
So, yeah. No, I think, I didn't know Aaron, but I could tell a lot from the energy. I traveled to Santa Cruz when Tavia and I first met, and we had an opportunity to spend some time there. And I got a pretty strong sense of his energy, which included definitely a strong sense of humor. But I'm going to just read this dedication that I wanted to Tavia for him. And because I think this is sort of what underlies, as I said, the whole podcast and what we're doing. But it is a dedication to Aaron Avila, a man who, although I didn't know him, I do know unequivocally that I see him through his nephew, Tavia's son, Taylor. I think when I saw his photograph in a framed picture at your house, it was clear to me that there's a lot of him in Taylor for sure. So, and what I do know about Aaron is that water was very meaningful to him. And interestingly, when I was thinking about this, the ocean was sort of a paradoxical metaphor and mistress, bringing him peace and strength on the one hand, but also wielding its remorseless brutality and sheer indifference on the other, which is kind of interesting about water because it gives life and it also takes it away. But Aaron's passing reminds me that every life is unique and that none can ever be replaced. And I think we know that. And it's important for me to honor his presence and meaning here now and in the future as Tavia and I move forward to change the trajectory of society's perception and discussion pertaining to mental health issues without stigma, without taboo, and without judgment. And I think that's all that we can ask. And I appreciate his time here and his presence as we go forward with this podcast and with other things that we're individually doing. And I know he's very special. I know he's very special to you. And I don't know if maybe you could talk a little bit about what he was like, and
Well, yeah, thank you, Tom. I really appreciate that so much, what you shared. Thank you. And I feel inspired to share this. One of the last times that I saw my brother and that my whole family actually was together. was my graduation, graduating from San Jose State University. And we were standing in the parking lot. Um, we had wrapped up dinner and we were all getting ready to go our separate, heading back to Santa Cruz because we had dinner in San Jose. And my siblings were giving me their gifts, and Aaron didn't have a gift for me. I wasn't expecting gifts. I wasn't even expecting anything from anybody. And I actually didn't even want anybody to be at my graduation. I wasn't even wanting that. I really didn't want that. And my mom just overriding that and inviting everybody. And they all showed up, and it was just really beautiful. And it just ended up being one of the best days of my entire life. But we were all in the parking lot and getting these beautiful, meaningful gifts. And Aaron looked at me and he said, "Your gift is my presence." And he said it ever so sarcastically. And those that know Aaron can absolutely hear the tone probably coming from him and exuding, from him. And he said, "Your gift is my presence." And I looked at him in that moment, and all this was so just always like my interaction with him. There was so much like sarcasm and like laughter and humor. And there was also so much depth and truth and connection with everything that he said and shared with me. And I saw that with others. And so there was this like, oh my gosh, you're so hilarious. And okay. And this also like, there's so much truth to that. And you know what? And I just remember looking at him and saying, "Yes, your presence is my gift. And thank you for being here." Because that's all he knows me. He knows that all that matters to me is connection and not things. Things are not important to me, material objects. So it was just really beautiful in that moment. I just it's like, yes, your presence is a gift and thank you for being here. And he received that. And that was one of the last things he said to me. That was one of the last times I saw him. And he knew what he was saying. He knew what he was saying. And um, I just want to remind people that our presence does matter. And our moments with ourselves and our moments with others matters.
Well, it harkens back to our discussion on Sunday, just a few days ago, about the holidays and about what is really important, and talking about expectations and talking about people's regrets right before they die and things. And this is so important to keep emphasizing, because it's true, right? It's not about things, because we cannot take anything with us. And he left way too soon. But I know that his leaving, there was purpose in that, and that's why I think his presence is here with us all the time. And I think it's important that that is sort of interconnected with us and the podcast going forward, because it's true.
Absolutely.
So, and at this time of year, I think a lot of people do have a lot of issues, and they hit up against a lot of brick walls. And we opened the show with this Sunday about depression, anxiety, and just the stress connected with everything that people put on themselves. A lot of times it's not even necessarily a reality, but because of commercialism, because of this hypnotic trance that we have to follow these certain parameters at Christmas, at Kwanzaa, at Hanukkah, whatever it is. We just have this sort of weight hanging over us, and it doesn't need to be there, and it really shouldn't be there. And so we're going to talk a lot more about that over the coming weeks. And I know we talked about having a show actually will be airing on Christmas, and I think we'll have maybe even a little bit of a longer show for people that are alone or sick or feeling that they've sort of hit the brick wall. Pardon the pun with the brick wall behind me that's fading away. But
You planned that.
I did.
First.
It's always a pun that is intended. So, but anyway, I don't want to take detract from what we really went live to talk about. And so my hat is off to your brother, and I'm very sorry that he, had to go when he did, but I also know that he's always with you and he's with everyone. and I appreciate his presence as we go forward and make a difference because of him. So
Yes, absolutely. Thank you,
happy
Tom.
birthday, Aaron. And yeah, so
Thank you, Tom.
all
And
right.
take good care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Good to see you, Tavia.